Hello, good morning or good afternoon. My name is Courtney Coleman. I am a teacher at Norview High School, and I have been asked to make this video on behalf of Kyla Winburn to just kind of explain the trip, what we're going to be doing, why I think it's such an amazing opportunity, and hopefully answer any questions that anybody at the church may have about what all the trip will entail. Just to start with a quick background, this trip to South Africa is part of the Norview Beyond Norfolk Travel Club that I help run at Norview High School. This will be my fourth international trip with Norview students, and I'm very passionate about international travel and trying to bring students out of their familiar zone and interact with the world beyond what they see on their phones or on television, to be immersed in the language and the culture and the history and the people and the beauty of other places. So I am a huge advocate for these travel programs to begin with. But South Africa is my dream trip. This is the one I have been building towards and planning, and I think it's going to be the most amazing trip we have ever done. We partner with a company called Education First, EF, that specializes in educational tours for students. They are an amazing program with so many safety features built in that I won't get too into in this video, but would be happy to answer questions. But it is an organization that is there every step of the way. We have a tour guide with us 24 hours a day. The support team is always there. I had a trip a couple years ago where unfortunately I did have one student come down with COVID. I had another student whose wheelchair actually broke at the Palace of Versailles. And in both instances, they were there, they helped take care of it. So this is a professional organization that does amazing things. And Kyla could even earn college credit for this trip if she chose to go down that path and fulfill those requirements. So it is a fantastic company to travel with. So this is the basic itinerary of our trip. It is Discover South Africa. It is 11 days, and we will be visiting three major areas of South Africa. I picked South Africa this year. I have always wanted to take students to Africa. It's the birthplace of humankind. And as a history teacher, I mean, how much can you get into the history of man than where man started? And there's just something incredibly powerful about being in a place with such deep roots in our shared history. South Africa, in particular, has this amazing mix of culture and nature and colonization and apartheid and all these different aspects of its history that have created who they are today. And beyond the amazing and complex history, the wildlife, the nature, it's the kind of trip that really opens your eyes and takes you down so many different paths to see the beauty of Africa and also the horrible things that have happened there and how the people have risen beyond that. So like I said, this is the trip I've been waiting for, and I think we will get more out of this trip than any trip we have been on before. So we're going to start our journey in Johannesburg. It is a long flight getting there, but when we do get there, we are going to hit the ground running. These trips are organized to the hour. We do have some free time for the kids to explore what they want to explore, but we fill their days. They are going to be tired and they're going to learn so much. When we start, we're going to start with a guided tour of Johannesburg, exploring the Soweto neighborhood. This is the center of resistance during apartheid, with events like the Soweto uprising of 1976, as well as being home to Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu. In fact, they lived on the same street, the only street in the world to have housed two Nobel Peace Prize winners. We're also going to visit the Regina Mundi Catholic Church, the largest Roman Catholic church in South Africa. It's known as the People's Church because they welcomed everyone, even when segregation was the law. We will, of course, visit the homes of both Desmond Tutu and Winnie and Nelson Mandela to explore their roles in the ending of apartheid. And that's all, we're all in one day. And we're going to end that day by visiting the Apartheid Museum. This is an amazing, immersive, interactive museum that is really going to help bring this history and the tragedies and the resistance and the people fighting for their nation, really bring it to life for our kids in a way that just studying it in a book never could. On day 4, we're going to visit the Cradle of Humankind. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site where some of the oldest human fossils in existence have been found. Students will be able to explore the origins of mankind and even go into some ancient caves. And I'm really excited about the caves because they were horribly flooded a few years ago. And so it was taken off the tour because no one was allowed in. And they just reopened the caves in April. So we will get to really explore and see these fossils in person in their natural setting. Afterwards, we're going to be going to Constitution Hill, where students will explore a former prison turned museum, and it's also the home of South Africa's constitutional court, and it really helps show the country's journey from oppression to democracy. On day 5, we take a break from history and we set out to explore some of the most beautiful nature in the world. We're going to travel along the panorama route, ending at Long Tom Misty Mountain. And students will actually get to take a toboggan ride down the mountain. And this picture is a little misleading. This thing goes fast. We saw some videos of it, and it's going to be an exciting ride. They also get the opportunity to be actually lowered by elevator, or if they're really brave, zip line or rappel down the side of this gorge, Grasskop Gorge, and explore the forest at the bottom. We're going to end the day by arriving at Kruger National Park. We're going to be staying in the wildlife to prepare for our first safari the next day. Day 6 is a full day game drive through Kruger National Park. Giraffes, lions, elephants, rhinos, cheetahs, so many other amazing animals will be closer than we could have possibly imagined. After spending the night among nature in Kruger National Park, we start the next day back among the animals, but this time on foot. We'll practice traditional methods of stealth among nature to see how close we can get without disturbing our beautiful companions. Afterwards, we're going to fly straight down to Cape Town. In Cape Town, we're going to start back with nature. We're going to hike to the summit of Table Mountain. We will be on top of literally one of the world's oldest mountains. Depending on the weather, we may even be above the clouds. After going back to history and culture, we're going to explore Cape Town on a guided tour that will include places like Devil's Peak, Green Market Square, and Victoria and Alfred waterfront. Students will visit the District 6 Museum and learn about the thousands of residents who were forcibly removed from this district when it was declared a whites-only zone. Then we're going to take a ferry to Robbins Island to see the actual prison in which Nelson Mandela was housed, including his actual cell, and learn more about the impact that Mandela had on the nation. On day 9, we're going to experience one of the coolest and cutest parts of South African nature. Penguins. We're going to visit the Boulders Penguin Colony and squeal over the cuteness before moving on to explore the Kirstenbosch Botanical Gardens. Our last day in South Africa will be open for a bit of exploring on our own, but we'll also spend this day on an excursion that I am extremely passionate about. I think it's important that the students go beyond the tourist parts of South Africa. So on this final day, we will be visiting the Langa Township, where students will gain local insight into the socio-political realities of pre- and post-apartheid. We're going to visit a local community center where residents are learning career and life skills, and we'll also visit a local preschool. It's my plan to have students fundraise a bit of extra money that we can spend on gifts for the children of this township in thanks for their hospitality on our journey. Finally, we will head home, exhausted, but amazingly enriched in knowledge, culture, and understanding of this part of the world. So that's our trip. I'm so excited to bring my students on this journey, and I appreciate even the consideration in helping one of our amazing students make it there. If you have any questions, Ms. Winburn has my email address, and I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for your time.